I went through all of the times of all the murders. John Kennedy, Martin Luther King, Bobby Kennedy. I was on the road except for one. But I will tell you a story that is really, and then we'll get to the Alcorn story, which is really kind of scary. I was at spring practice at Memphis State, and I was talking to the coach. I said, you know what? I need another day. We've got really good prospects here, and I think I need another day or two to take a look at it. And he looked at me. It's the only time in my life that anybody ever said this to me. He said, I think you should leave. I said, what'd I do? You know, you figure maybe I did something that pissed off the coach or something like that. He said, no, I think you ought to leave. I said, why? He said, because Martin Luther King is coming here tomorrow to lead the strike of the garbage men in Memphis. And I don't think this is a place you should be. So I went back to the Holiday Inn, canceled the room, got on the plane, went home, got off the plane in the airport, and they announced the king had been murdered the day that I left. That's how dangerous it was in the times that I lived. I stupidly, because most scouts didn't do it, but when you're 26 years old, you think the world, you'll never be killed. A week later, I went back out on the road when most scouts didn't, and took a flight into Jackson, Mississippi, and drove down one of the most beautiful places in America, the Natchez Trace, to a place called Alcorn A&M, who had great, great players. And I got there that day, and if you're at Alcorn A&M, there are no white people within 100 miles, except for Upton. And so I said to the coach, Coach, I'd like to get all the players out here, and we'll time them. You know, the 40-yard dash, which they still do at the Combine in Indianapolis. I said, I want to time all your players. He said, fine, Bill. He said, get out here, and I had my stopwatch. So the first player comes down, and I'm saying to myself, this guy ain't very fast. And he said, Bill, what do you got? I said, Coach, 4.8. And he said, I got 4.6. So the next player comes down, Bill, what do you got? I said, well, Coach, I got 4.7. He said, I got 4.4. And we kept going through all of these players coming down. I'm saying to myself, these guys aren't very fast. So finally I caught on because there is an overlook in a gas station down onto the field, all African Americans. And finally I caught on because am I going to get out of this town alive? I mean, there were a lot of bitterness. There were state troopers picking off people on this Natchez Trace, which ran 100 or so miles. And it was very violent. So finally I caught on. He said, hey, Bell, what do you got? And I said, Coach, what do you got? He said, I got 4.4. I said, I got the same thing. And I got in my car and got the hell out of there. And as we describe it in the book, it was the darkest night I can remember. I never thought I'd get back to Jackson. That's what the whole situation was like. I mean, it is, and again, as I say, you read this book, you will really see the true story, history, not a lot of crap. But that's the type of situation that it was then. Some things have not changed, but to try and understand the attitude today. I don't like all the celebrations in the end zone, turns me off, but it's a whole different world, a whole different game. But if you saw the way African Americans were treated in the early years, you might understand today.